work?
I work at the office of the president.
In what capacity?
Now as a senior protocol officer.
As a?
Senior protocol officer.
How long have you been senior protocol officer?
6-7 months ago.
What did you do before you were senior protocol officer?
I was out of job for 4 years before I became a senior protocol officer. And I was a cadet protocol officer 2 years before I went out of job.
You said you were out of work for 4 years?
For 4 years.
When did you last work before you became senior protocol officer? Do you remember the date?
I can remember on the 3rd of December 2012, I ceased to be a civil servant until sometime in November, until this last year, November.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Before the 3rd December 2012, what work did you do?
Before the 3rd December 2012, I was a cadet protocol officer, which I started in 2010. I cannot remember the actual date.
What is this office?
The office of the president.
When you say you ceased to be a civil servant, what was the manner of such ceasing to be a civil servant?
I didn't get that.
How did you leave the civil service?
I was dismissed on the 3rd of December 2012.
Okay. Mr. So, you've been summoned in relation to payments received from 2 accounts at Trust Bank. One of those accounts is the National Security account, both dollars and dollars, and National Security Project account, to be precise. And the second account is the MRI Presidential Project account. We're going to start with the National Security account, where altogether, according to the records we have, we received about 8 payments. Do you remember these accounts?
I remember the names, yes.
So I didn't hear what you said. What was your answer?
Right?
What was your answer? Do you remember these accounts? I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. I remember the names, yes.
You remember the names?
The names, yes.
Yes. What are these accounts?
I wouldn't know, actually.
What do you remember about them?
Yes, I remember the names, yes.
You just remember the names? All right. I'm going to take you through this transaction. I'll start with the dollar account. There are 2 payments from the dollar account that I'm going to show you now. Can you show him these payments? There is a payment dated 31st August 2012, in which, according to the records of the Trust Bank, you received the sum of $14,592,746, or its equivalent, which was 444,900 United States dollars, from Trust Bank on the instructions of Dr. Njogu Elba and Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya A.J. Jami. The second one was received on the 20th September 2012 for $50,000 this time, again on the instructions of the same people, Dr. Ba and the ex-president. Can you show him these transactions, please? There is an ID card attached to the transaction of the 20th September 2012. You can look at that ID. ID card 0001637. Is that your ID? Is that your ID?
000. I've not seen that attachment.
There is no attachment?
No, not of an ID, yeah.
Can I have the documents back?
This is not an ID card. It's a copy of the biodata page of my diplomatic passport. It's mine.
It's a copy of your diplomatic passport?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, thank you. It's the. What can you tell us about these transactions?
Not much. Anyway, as you can see, this particular page is relevant here. This is all that would come from the president. Will be handed over by.
Sorry. We are not hearing clearly.
Okay.
Can the adjustment be made, please?
It's not low. This letter-headed document you see.
Can you tell us the date, please?
The date here is 31st August 2012. It is PRC 822 volume 10 NLB. It is initial NLB. This is the document that they would give me, and this is all out.
You mean this is the document you were given?
Yes.
Yes. Who gave you the document?
It depends. Usually.
Who gave you that document?
This particular one. I cannot remember the details, but it was given to me by Njogoba, doctor, the former Secretary General, Office of the President. And this is the document that I took to the Trust Bank, and then payment is effected in my name.
And you received the sum of 14 million.
What
did you receive? Was it the 14,592,746 or the 444,900 United States dollars?
Maybe from this receipt we should be able to tell, because it should contain that. I'm seeing D14 3 something 92746 something. So I think it's the dollars equivalent that I received.
You received that money. What did you do with it?
Normally when I receive this, it's in...
Mr. So, let us be specific. We are talking about a transaction, and that is the amount you received. What did you do with that money?
Your Honor, I'm very sorry to state that this has taken some time. I cannot recall exactly anything. And once I'm on the oath, I just want to be very honest here. This, specifically this, I cannot remember how it happened, because so many things happened afterwards. But what I know is, judging from the amount it is, it must be a bulk payment, and therefore it must have been in bags, in cash bags that personally I cannot carry. So what I would do is, I'll load them into my car, or get them loaded into my car, drive my car to State House, and then the securities will pick it from there. Under Njogo's instruction, they will take it up. I'll supervise them, coordinate them to see that they get to the right place in Njogo's presence. And until they get to the office of the president, I am not released.
We are not hearing you properly. So could you take your time and articulate what you're saying? Could you take your time and be clear in what you're saying?
Okay.
Okay, so you're saying you would put this money in the money would be placed in your car. Is that what you're saying?
The bags.
By who?
Yes.
By who?
From the trust bank, usually from the trust bank securities there. So they have some laborers who used to help with bulk cash. So for people, petites like me who can't carry anything more than $3–4 million is in cash. So with 14 million, it must be a bag, a big bag, sort of big one, heavy. I would get this loaded into my 4x4 and then drive to State House. Upon arrival, I will notify the Honorable Ba, the former Secretary General, and the soldiers who used to be at the plainclothes office, close to the office of the President himself, would come down, 2, 3, 4 of them sometimes, depending on the amount that there is, and then they will carry this load upstairs under my and Njogu's supervision.
They will carry it upstairs where?
Upstairs to the office of the President.
To the office of?
The President. I mean office of the President here as the official space, the office space itself, not per se the office of the President as an institution.
Which official space? Which room exactly would they take it?
The one that houses the personal presence of the President himself, of the former President. That's the one I mean.
When you're talking about, you don't mean the office of the President, you mean space. What space are you talking about?
I'm talking about the office room.
Which office room?
Where the President sits and does his official duties.
Would you go with the soldiers to meet the President?
Pardon?
Did you accompany the soldiers to take this money to the President?
Usually where I park the car, up to the door where the door that opens leading to the corridor to the President's office, I would supervise and ensure that this cash is taken in at the right place. Once it is there, Njogu will be standing, waiting. As soon as all the money is in place, a signal is sent, the President's office door is open, and then the same soldiers, plainclothes officers, will push this money in, but not in my presence, actually.
So the money is not counted?
They would have to confirm it.
How was it confirmed?
I think the President Jammeh used to have those boys, the plainclothes boys who used to be there, the close protection officers who used to be there, who used to do the confirmation.
Who were these people?
I don't know. Sometimes you don't even know who is there, who is on duties.
Who were these people? Who were they, these people that you're talking about?
I mean the security officers.
Yes, can you identify them?
I don't know. Right now I cannot tell you who they were. Because those of them who would be there, you may not know who is there on duty or who is not on the duty. What you can see.
You worked at the office of the President?
I did.
Did you see them, these people, on a daily basis?
No, not on a daily basis.
Where in the office of the President did you work from?
The office of the President is found in a block different from where my office was located myself.
Yes, that's why I'm asking you. Where did you, as protocol officer, you're a protocol officer in the office of the President. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Where did you work at the office of the President?
I don't understand that.
You are saying you don't see them on a daily basis. Why would you not see them on a daily basis when you work in the same office?
Yes, because this is what I'm explaining. The office of the President, the physical structure of the building itself. My office was not found not on that particular building, but on an opposite building, where the office of the Vice President is found.
Where? Who?
The office of the Vice President is found.
That's where your office was.
Exactly.
All right. Now, the records show that all these, but I'll take you to the second one we'll go through. The $50,000, the second transaction, can you look at it, the $50,000?
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
This, just like the other one, It must have been an authority receipt, yes, exactly.
I can't hear what you're saying.
The same document. This same document is what is given to me to take to Trust Bank. And then the rest Trust Bank does it.
Now $50,000.
Exactly.
You took in dollars or in dollars?
Yes, I think again from the receipt. According to the receipt here, the amount is $50,000 US.
Yes. Now that's not a large sum of money in terms of bulk. So what did you do with the $50,000?
This is a small amount of money physically compared to the 14 million that we've just covered. It's something that you can put in a bag, and that is something that I can carry, so I wouldn't need any soldier to do. So what I would do is drive to the office, get the container in my hand, take it to whoever it was that gave it to me. This one must have come from Njogu Lamin, and then I will hand it over to him for no transmission to the president.
Now the first one says for the purchase of a 1,200 kVA generator for the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. That's what the letter said.
Yes.
Did you know anything about a kVA generator for the Royal Victoria Hospital?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Let's look at the Dalasi transactions. 1, 2, there are 6 of them.
Okay.
Can you give this gentleman the witness these transactions? These are 6 withdrawals spanning the period February 2012 to November 2012. The first is 3,500,000 cash. You were authorized to receive by Dr. Njoguba, signing a loan. The second is that is on 19 February 2012. You have on 6 August 2012, $700,000 signed by Dr. Ba and the ex-president. On the 6th September 2012, $2 million signed by Dr. Ba and the ex-president. 10th September 2012, $790,000 signed by Njoguba and ex-president. And 6th November, $697,540 signed by both Dr. Ba and the president, and finally $422,000. The debit voucher shows 15 November 2012, signed by the 2 of them. The first one, which is 3.5 million, signed by Dr. Njoguba alone. Can you tell us about that one? Tell us what the commission about this transaction, starting with the first one.
Like the other ones that I know, this one is, as I can see, it's only signed by Dr. Njoguba himself. And it's an authority that he gave me to take to the general manager, Trust Bank, which I did. And the payment was effected to me, which I received and brought to him.
What did you do with the money?
What?
What did you do with the 3.5 million when you received it?
Did I do with that money? I brought it to him.
You brought it to?
From Dr. Njoguba.
What was the purpose?
He didn't tell me. I didn't ask either. But looking
the second one, 700,000, which says to cater for the fueling and fuel requirements of Operation Bulldozer. That's 700,000.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. What did you do with that money?
The same thing. the same thing as I have done with all these transactions.
Please tell me what you did with the money. I don't know the same thing. Answer to my question according to the document that is in front of you. What did you do with the 700,000?
I have said earlier that specifically I cannot tell you each and every one of these documents because it has been time and a lot of things happen. But what I know is, looking at the amount, it's always simple to tell. If it is going to the president, what I have explained with this is what happens with them. If not, with small amounts, I hand deliver them to Njogu.
So this $700,000, is it regarded as a small amount or as a large amount?
No, this is not a big amount that will warrant me to ask security officers to carry.
Can you repeat your answer?
This is not an amount that will warrant me to ask security officers to carry on my behalf. I can carry this myself.
So what would you do with this
So usually,
amount?
with this, I just put it in bag. Once the bag in which it is what I will use to take to him.
Take to?
So the one who sent me, and in this case, Njogu Laminba.
Okay. Let's go to the 2 million. The next one, 6 September 2012. $2 million is cash.
2 million, yes. This one is two instructions here. The first one was a withdrawal, a cash withdrawal of $2 million. And the other one, that is the second instruction, was to effect a wire transfer in favor of some students that the office was sponsoring.
Does the second one, the wire transfer, concern you?
It's concern.
Did it concern you, the wire transfer?
Me? Whether it concerned me? I don't think so.
So my question is as to the first one, the cash withdrawal of $2 million.
Okay. $2 million is also not a very heavy one, but I wouldn't carry myself in my hands, so I would call a security officer and we will send this to Njogu.
Would send it to who?
To Dr. Njogu Ba for onward transmission to the president.
Okay, the next one, 790,000.
$790, okay. This money.
The money amuses you, Mr. So?
Yes, this 790,000 was also received.
Did you say it amuses you?
Pardon?
I see you're smiling. Does this amuse you, the money?
No, something small thing I remembered on this one.
Okay, can you share what you remembered that is so amusing?
It's not amazing actually. When I went to be paid at the bulk cash in Trust Bank on this particular transaction, I think the cashier made a mistake. She paid me over $9 million. And when it was almost closing hours, so I came to the office. I also did not look properly, so I just locked it in my office. Till the following morning, on my way coming, she called and said, Mr. So, was like, Mr. So, are you still in town? I said, yes. He said, are you out of the country? I said, no, I'm here. What is the matter? And she said, well, where is the money I paid you yesterday? I said, it's still with me. Can you please bring it back to the office? I said, back to the bank? I said, yes. So she cancelled me into doing whatever until I was at the bank. Then that's the time she told me that I overpaid you. I was supposed to pay you 700 and something, but I paid you 9 million. That's what I just recall.
So you took the 9 million and it spent a night with you?
In the office, yes. I locked it in the office and went home.
So where did you keep it in the office?
Pardon?
Where did you keep 9 million in the office?
In the office? Just in the office, that's all.
Which office?
My office.
So you were able to take 9 million and keep it in your office?
Yes, I could keep it in my office. It was secure.
So this time 9 million is not considered a large enough sum to warrant the assistance of security.
Pardon?
The 9 million is not a large enough sum to warrant the assistance of security.
Of course, it does. It does warrant me to.
So in this case, what happened?
I don't know whether I did ask securities to do that for me, but I remember that this money spent the night with me.
So this time they helped you carry it to your own private office?
Pardon?
The security helped you carry the money to your own office?
Exactly. Not to my own person, the office where I work, but I think this was in Yogu's office or in one of those offices. But the money spent the night without the usual procedure. That is going to the president, going to Njoguba and then transmission to the president, because office had already closed then, before I came back that day.
Okay.
So we kept the money till the following morning. Was it in, I don't know which office, I can't recall now which particular office room it was, but we kept it till the following morning.
I see. Was any of the, did you have cashiers at the office of the president?
Cashiers?
Yes.
We have an accounts section, an accounts unit at the office of the president.
Were they ever involved in all these monies that you were withdrawing from the bank and taking to the office of the president?
Not to my knowledge, no.
You were never required to take it to the accountant?
No.
Who handed over these instructions to you? The instructions that you took to the bank? Mm-hmm. These instructions that you took to the bank, who handed them over to you?
I take them to the, usually to the Forex Bureau, to the Forex unit of the Trust Bank, Gambia Limited, in Banyud, okay, at the headquarters.
The Forex Department of Trust Bank?
Exactly.
Who did you meet at the Forex Department?
Apart from the staff who used to be there at the main floor, office floor there, one Mr. Ndamuture was then, I think, heading that unit. And
one Ndamuture?
Exactly.
What role did he play?
No, I think he used to give the go-ahead to the bankers who are there, the other officers who are there. I don't even know what positions they hold, actually.
All right. From the office of the president end, who gave you these letters that you took to Trust Bank? How did you get them?
These letters that I take to Trust Bank?
Yes.
Njoguhan delivers them to me. Njogu Laminba.
All right. We have three more. You have on the 6th November 2012, $697,540.
Yes. Same. This is not a big amount. I'll put this in a bag and give it to anyone who sent me.
You have two signatories, Dr. Njoguba and the president.
Yes.
Who is the one who sent you?
It's Njogu Laminba who would give it to me.
The next one, $422,000.
Yes. This one was also handed to me by Dr. Njoguba for withdrawal, and which I withdrew from the Trust Bank and handed to him for onward transmission.
28th September 2012. Sorry, that was the last Dalasi. Yes, we've done the September. You said you had an accounts department at the office of the president.
Yes.
You had account officers?
Account officers, yes, we do now.
What was your role as protocol officer?
As a protocol officer, then I was not given a TOR in the first place. I was
sorry, did you say you were given a TOR?
Not given a TOR, I said. Mm-hmm. I was not specifically assigned to duties. Usually what I did was I was given instructions from my chief of protocol I had served 2 of them there at the time. And
Which 2?
2 chiefs of protocol that I had.
Yes, who and who?
Alaji Usman Sise, Mr. Sise, whom I am sure this commission must be familiar with, and also Mr. Moses Benjamin Jallo, also served temporarily as my chief of protocol.
So what was your job? You did what?
Most of the job that I did was minuting files, taking care of correspondences, arranging audiences, making agreement, updating the master guest list, state banquets, and also monitoring the movement of diplomats in and out of the country, maintaining a list of our diplomatic corps outside the country, our representatives out of the country, and apart from that, not much. Apart from this.
And you ran errands?
These errands, exactly.
You ran errands?
Yes, these errands, yes. So I was also help in helping these national orders of the Republic of the Gambia.
You were helping?
In coordinating the national orders of the Republic of the Gambia.
National orders?
Yes. That's the national decorations.
Honors?
Call them, yes, orders.
National honors. Apart from running errands, as in this case for Dr. Njoguba, did you also make withdrawals and the instructions of the chiefs of protocol?
I cannot recall. It could be. It's been some time, but if it had come at that time, yes, I would have done it.
Did you consider it normal to be sent to the bank to withdraw these monies?
This?
Yes.
At the time, yes.
At the time you thought it was normal?
Yes, I thought it was normal.
Why did you think it was normal then and not now?
Because personally, I do believe that as a Muslim, there is always a day that one comes accountable for whatever you do, for whatever you say, or throughout your life. Though I didn't think it was perhaps going to be in a room like here in this hotel when I'm alive, though I know that the day will come that I am 100% that the day was going to come. So I was always very honest and careful in whatever I do. But I said also that authority is authority. What authority asks me to do.
Sorry, I'm having difficulty hearing you. So maybe move back from the mic a little bit. Yes. Yes. You were explaining why you thought it was normal then and not now.
Yes. At the time, I knew, I have always known that man is accountable for whatever he does, including these transactions. So the role that I played in all these transactions, I ensured that I played them well and ensured that...
You're sure you played them?
Well.
You played them well?
Yes, that it was go, pick money, bring it, make sure that the same amount that I was asked to pick is exactly what is given to me, and I make sure I safely carry it to the person who sent me. So as far as I was concerned, there was no crime in that.
As far as you are concerned, there was no?
There was no crime in that.
There was no crime in that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think that was perfectly normal?
Yes, for me it was normal.
So you said then, you thought it was normal, suggesting that now you don't think it was normal.
Yeah, now I think it's abnormal. Shortly before I came back to the civil service, I was lucky to have been included in an induction course offered by the Management Development Institute. One of the modules that I covered there was financial responsibility of civil servants, public officer to public finance. And I realized that unless such errands were part of my TOR, I should not have meddled my hand in them. That is when I said, oh, then what I've been doing has all been illegal. But before, it was all fine for me.
So, sorry, what happened? Before? I didn't hear that last thing. What happened before?
Yes.
Your last sentence. Repeat it.
I said after my induction at the MDI, it was during this induction that I realized that unless such withdrawals, such errands were part of my TOR, were part of the responsibilities accorded to me as a protocol officer, then I should not have meddled my hands in them. That's what I said.
Okay. That's the only reason why you think it may have been not normal. It was not normal.
Yes. So that's why I thought perhaps I should not have done them.
Okay. Did you think it was normal that the president was giving so much cash, withdrawing so much cash from a bank account when you had an accounting department at the office of the president?
I didn't even know the difference then. Okay. I just thought that perhaps since he had the powers to withdraw it from there, then he must have been the one who put them there in the first place.
He must have been the one who
put such funds there in the first place, especially with Trust Bank. So I said that was all the judgment I gave it. So I said it's normal.
Sorry, Counsel. Can I intervene? Mr. So.
Yes, please.
You said you thought they put the money there. Besides the point of putting the money there, government officials, do they own the money? Did you have any doubt this wealth belonged to the nation as a whole? The money in those accounts, whether they put them there or not, did you have any doubt that the money belonged to us all?
Yes, I did know that it belongs to everyone.
You know now?
I did know even at that time.
You did know?
Even at that time, yes.
So what has the fact that they put it there or to do with how it was used? The President of the Republic does not own the wealth of the nation. The Gambians own it. So if they send you to bring money, you should be interested in where it is going. It doesn't matter who sends you.
Of course.
You don't just go and give him millions to use at his will. There is a process. There is an accounting department. There is segregation of duties. It's not the role of the President to buy us a generator, whether it costs 14 or 20 million. So I don't understand where you come from talking about, I thought they put it there so they can sign it away and bring the money. For a protocol officer, where's the sense of duty? Don't they give you, let me finish, don't they give you orientation about patriotism, that a citizen does not own what belongs to the rest of the country, no matter how powerful you are? Does the Secretary General, Office of the President, own the money in an account that belongs to the country? Even the SG telling us, I gave it to the President and I don't know what he did with it after. That's not even acceptable, let alone a protocol officer saying, I thought they put it there in the first place. Yes or no?
I didn't know you finished. What I know is, and I will repeat this so that you understand exactly what I want to say.
I'm asking you a question. Do you understand that they don't own it?
I do.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one question. Why were you dismissed, please? Briefly.
I'm still trying to establish the facts.
You still don't know?
Yes. Still trying to establish the facts leading to my dismissal. What I know is at some point I hated some of the things that were going, and it was realized.
You hated, okay. You hated some of the things that were going on.
Yes.
And
emotionally, I think it manifested. Someone must have known it or so, and they thought perhaps I was not loyal to the state anymore. And
yeah, okay.
Sorry, I missed that answer. For some reason, I'm having difficulty understanding what he's saying.
Okay, he said that he hated what was going on at some point, and emotionally it showed. So he feels that's why probably they knew.
that he was removed.
Yes.
Somebody ill at ease with what was going on, why would he be comfortable sleeping with $9 million and not exactly telling us where it was kept? Up till now, we don't know where in his office it was kept. Yes. What happened? What process led to you keeping $9 million overnight without going through the normal process of handing over? So once you are sent to collect money, there is no follow-up later on. You can keep it 24, 48 hours to allow the teller, or was that just an exception for that particular night? Tell us what happened and where you kept the $9 million. Because as far as we are concerned, that money could have been lost and nobody will hold you accountable because they didn't even bother to ask you whether you brought it from the bank or not. Give us the details so we don't have doubts.
Okay. This particular $709,000 which was supposed to have been the amount to be paid to me from the trust bank was an exception. It was late. It was late when I got to the bank, and it was late when payments were made to me. So before I could come back to the office had already closed. It was already late when I came from the bank. So this was just one rare exception. If not, perhaps the only exception that I recall, and that's it.
So, Mr. So, on this particular one, if you're supposed to collect 709,000, you took 9 million. I think the difference you should have known even when you were walking out of the bank. So, how could you miss that?
Yeah,
you're laughing. Maybe it's funny, but I don't think it is.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
So why are you laughing then?
It's because I didn't look at what amount it was supposed to be. Because if you can see all these other transactions, millions. So all of a sudden you see 790. It's too small compared to the 14 millions, whatsoever millions that I was bringing from there. So I'm sure even the lady who made the payment, who made the mistake, must have been carried away the same way I was carried away.
I think don't make assumptions about the lady. It's a responsibility to check. So how she even got away with it for overnight, I'm surprised.
No, that was a fact.
But in terms of your own responsibility, if you're walking out, you're supposed to read what you take. So I just don't, the disparities of it interesting, how you cannot tell. Because 709,000, even $1 million, I don't think I can carry it. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, because it doesn't, definitely, because even by looking at the sums, then I had the ability to look at the sum and tell you this is what you will find, and that's exactly what you will find. I had that ability then. So how could 790 be mistaken with 9 million and not detected until the following day? It's just something else, definitely. I can't even still tell why.
So I'm going to show you transaction from the MRI account. Can you show, which is exhibit BB119A. Mr. Chairman, for the records, the national security account was exhibit 76, BB76 that we just dealt with. Now the Trust Bank record show him the documents that on the 8th of October 2012, you withdrew the sum of $15 million cash on the instructions of Dr. Njoguba and Mr. Nuha Ture. Can you look at that document?
Yes, ma'am.
That is yourself, Mamadou Sow, Protocol Officer, Office of the President.
Yes.
Passport number.
Yes.
1637.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell us about this transaction?
It's just another normal transaction that I did
It's another normal transaction, did you say?
compared to what we have gone through.
Did you say normal transaction?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did say normal, yes, ma'am.
Carry on.
And which was paid to me by the Trust Bank, and which I handed over. I cannot recall whether it was to Njogu or to Noha, but most likely to Njogu.
Why was it most likely to Njogu?
Because he was the one who would hand me over this type of authorities.
He was the one who?
Who would hand me these authorities and authorizations to pay or to receive on behalf of the office.
Let me just understand. You said you worked with two protocol officers, chiefs of protocol. You reported to the chiefs of protocol.
Yes, at different times, ma'am.
Now, Dr. Njogoba was the Secretary General at this time. What was your relationship with the Secretary General?
The Secretary General is also the head of the civil service for the whole civil service, but at the office of the President, the Secretary General is also the head of that particular institution, which is the office of the President.
He was the head of?
Also the head of the office of the President as an institution.
So, what is your relationship with the Secretary General?
He was my head of department.
You reported to both the Secretary General and the chiefs of protocol. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes, yes, sometimes, yes. If not, I report to the chief of protocol as a protocol officer.
In terms of your office, who was your supervisor?
The chief of protocol.
Did you inform the chief of protocol when you were being sent on these errands?
Yes, he does know. He does know.
He knows all?
He knows all of them. There is no transaction that I did for anyone without due knowledge of my chief of protocol.
In 2012, when all these transactions happened, who was the chief of protocol?
I can't recall the dates actually, but most of them, Alhaji Usman Sise was the chief of protocol in most of them. Yeah.
I'm sure you cannot forget 2012 because in December you were dismissed. And all these transactions occurred in 2012. So I ask you again, in 2012, the year you were dismissed, who was the chief of protocol?
When I was being dismissed from the office of the President, in fact, Alhaji Usman Sise was not even the chief of protocol at that time.
Okay.
He had just been moved to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as Director General of Protocol, and Mr. Moses Benjamin Jallo was then the chief of protocol.
He had just been removed. By just been removed, how long before your dismissal was he removed?
I think from October.
Why do you call this transaction normal?
Because it is one of many transactions that I have done. Now, in an entirety, no.
Apart from the fact that it's not on your terms of reference as protocol officer then, and the president normal?
Now, no.
That's all I have for this witness.
Very well, Mr. So you may go.
Thank you.
We take. Very well, we'll rise for 15 minutes.